with making false statements to the government. Diamantis is also a lawyer, and the judge could be harsh during the sentencing. There were many witnesses during this 2.5-week trial who said Diamantis promised to get them school construction projects, but there was a price to pay. We heard the owners of 2 companies that Diamantis demanded cash payments, and if they didn't pay, they wouldn't get the work. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 5, you'll hear from the jury foreman who had a lot to say about deliberations and why jurors were all on the same page when it came to Costa Diamantis and why he felt he was guilty on all of these federal counts. Your chief political reporter, Susan Ralph, Channel 3, live in Bridgeport.
All right, Susan, thank you so much. Let's go to Tallinn now.
They're investigating after a brief lockdown at Tallinn.
Looks like a lockdown in a school. Now, we can tell you that there was a high school.
Threat at the high school?
Potential for high school. However, there was a brief lockdown. Free just not credible. In Middletown, a man was found from the air bridge. These are pictures from the. These are pictures into the seed of the air bridge. We do not know from Middletown Police just yet. I think live like at Bradley International Airport. We're doing fine out there. As we always do this hour. Top off of the forecast today, we have meteorologist Mike Schweitzer, who joins us now, joining Kara Sunderland. Oh man, let's listen in.
We've improved since the morning.
What a difference.
Yeah.
And this is what we expected, where the morning would be a bit unsettled and we would quickly start to see the sunshine return. We want to show you our ICAM view in Old Saybrook. We'll show you what's going on at the shoreline right now. We still have some lingering cloudiness, but overall certainly a much brighter view. Also, take a look at the water, some whitecaps out there, and that's because the breeze has picked up. Wind speeds are sustained 5 to 15 miles an hour inland, 10 to 20 miles an hour along the shoreline, gusts even higher than that into the 20-mile-an-hour range. So you'll notice the breeze if you're outside with that offshore wind helping to keep, especially the southwestern parts of the shoreline, a little bit warmer right now. 66 in New Haven, it's currently 58 in Torrington, 59 in Groton. We're at 63 in Hartford, 63 in Willimantic. So temperatures will be dropping as the night goes on. We are expecting a mainly clear sky overnight. It'll be cooler, seasonally so, with temperatures in the 40s. Tomorrow and Friday, mainly dry days. Both will be a bit cooler, maybe some isolated sprinkles out there. As we head into the weekend, we are looking at chilly nights and cool afternoons, and that cool weather lasts into the start of next week. Clouds will begin to build back into. We'll take you through the temperatures and when we could even see some frost coming up in the first low 7-day forecast.
Alright, thank you so much. And we do have some.
Are releasing brand new information after someone died in a homeless encampment
We got.
in Milford. Channel 3 Stephanie.
Let's go to 70. I know there's a homeless person. How did they die?
Just got this information from the chief medical examiner's office moments ago. You may remember more than 2 months ago, a fire started at this homeless encampment behind the Lowe's store on Oldgate Lane. We have some video that our crews took that day. 57-year-old Joseph Kane was killed in that fire. Now, the chief medical examiner says the cause of death was smoke inhalation and the manner was homicide. Another person was hurt in that fire along with a Milford firefighter. It's still unclear exactly how it started or whether anyone will face charges. On the First Alert Desk, I'm Stephanie Simone, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Alright, 70, thank you so much. Let's go to Naugatuck right now. There was a gunfire investigation. And now, I'm about to show you Pinpoint News Tracker. That gunfire right there.
And the passengers apparently told
Also, the
officers
Beamer
someone
Pond.
shot at their car somewhere near Bar
Yeah.
Pond. Now, a few people in the car were hurt. They are
Now,
recovering.
3 people
If you
were
know anything
were
about
hurt.
this, please give
Nothing
Naugatuck Police
has
a call.
ever spread.
In Bridgeport,
Let's go to
police
Bridgeport
together
right
another
now.
case. They say last night they got a call about an abandoned child.
We now, there's now,
On Blackwell
here
Avenue.
once again, Pinpoint News Tracker shows us the scene. This was actually at Blackwalk Avenue, right here. A woman has died in a hospital. This happened right near 95. Let's go to Mansfield, where
they were. Instead is now planning a funeral. 79-year-old Carol Dolphin would have turned 80 next week, though police say she died last night when her home on Warrenville Road caught on fire. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you
One more,
exactly
let's do yet another edition of Pinpoint News Tracker. There is the house fire, and we have Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Luke Hydash. So Luke, what is all this happening?
Cruiser has been parked outside of Coulier Farm here all day since this home on the property caught fire last night right around 6:30. Most of the damage is up on the second floor. Town leaders say the deputy fire chief actually lives pretty close by. He was able to get here quickly and went in to find people who were trapped inside. Mansfield Deputy Fire Chief Kevin Danielson is in the hospital tonight dealing with burns and smoke inhalation after town leaders say he heroically looked for 3 people inside this burning home Tuesday night. Of those who were here, firefighters say 1 died, 1 is in the hospital, the 3rd person treated and released. A dog didn't make it. More than 30 first responders helped get this scene under control well into the night, dealing with water supply issues. Skip Olander lives across the street and feels for the family.
She's going through so much. The barn burning 2 years ago.
What's
And they had workers here for almost a year, 6 to 7 days a week, doing stuff. They put a back dormer on, redid the whole inside, and now this.
The State Police Fire and Explosives Unit, as well as the town fire marshal, are working to figure out the cause of this deadly fire. Your reporter live in Mansfield, Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Hi, Luke. Thank you so much. Alright, happening tonight.
Firefighter Robert Sharkovich.
Alright, would you guys should do some breaking news sometimes in the newsroom. 1216 Waterbury Road, Chester Fire was calling there. Also, by the way, there was also Chester Burrito within there. The memorial of the firefighters happening tonight in Wethersfield. We it has been like a month since he died. Well, that's coming up today at 6:30 at a church in Wethersfield.
Ahead at 6 o'clock.
More information coming up at 6 o'clock.
Well, the vice
Credible
president
News continues our team coverage of President Vance's meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu in Israel. Well, continuing the peace plan. Also, under the instruction, while Donald Trump continues to monitor the Russia and Ukraine war. Credible News will continue to follow the story as new information becomes available.
We'll go back to Israel this week. An Israeli government spokesperson says he will meet with Netanyahu on Friday.
Alright, it is right now day 22 of the government shutdown.
To end this partisan standoff. The president rallied with Republicans at the White House today and shot down the idea of any talks with Democrats, saying
And GOP has rejected a proposal to meet with Democrats.
Thursday
Now,
that would at least pay essential government employees, including the military, who have to work without pay during a shutdown.
I knew at 4 o'clock. We now know the new poll of who blamed the government shutdown. 45% of them said they want to blame Republicans. And they should have gone to 39% to blame the Democrats and 11% blamed both parties. I would say they blamed the Republicans. Coming up on Quarter BI News, we continue our team coverage of Diana's verdict. He is guilty on all charges. And also coming up, we're taking a look at the bump on the WNBA players. And also there's a health warning.
Now becoming more common. Why doctors say you probably won't see it on your
You probably will see it, Mike.
We certainly could still use a bit more rain, even with the beneficial rainfall that we picked up this morning. But looking ahead, well, the rain chances are going to be fairly low. We could see some sprinkles as the work week winds down. Heading into the weekend, though, things are looking great. When you might need a bit of a thicker coat coming up in the first alert forecast.
Alright, before we go to commercial break, here's what's tonight at 5. A man was accused of driving someone. We have the IT investigation for that coming up. And before we go to break, we're Dow Jones down at 71 points, 46,590.41. You're watching the new Afternoon Live. We'll be right back after this identification.
Right back.
You're watching Quinnabee. Yeah, more news. It is almost that time for more news and weather. Alright. We're going to take a couple of thank you for all those stations who have identified themselves for today's show. Before I continue on with the show, let's give 30 seconds to make an advertisement for Carol Rugs.
Famous for Oriental rugs. Now, we're also known for our fine broadloom, decorator area rugs, genuine hardwood flooring, and our low prices. For our 71st anniversary, we've lowered prices even more. Oriental rugs at our best prices ever. Broadloom and area rugs at serious anniversary savings and even special pricing on all hardwood and vinyl. Save big during Kahoot Rugs' 71st anniversary sale. It's another great decade at Kahoot Rugs.
Kahoot Rugs, West Hartford Center in Manchester, Connecticut.
I want to say thanks to Carl Brooks for sponsoring Afternoon Live. We'll have another sponsor coming up at the 4:50 during any additional commercial breaks. But as of right now, once again, I want to say thank you to Carl Brooks for today's sponsorship. But right now, let's continue on with our news and weather throughout the day today. And that really makes it a little treacherous. I mean, very exciting right now. I mean, if you don't take that considerability. I mean, look at these frags. I mean, 6 frags frag is like really not in sky. Wow, checking the frag. Alright, we're gonna go to media. Alright. Time out for more news. And right now, Kara Sutherland and an update on the Capitol rundown with Trayvon's found guilty.
Streaming show, The Capitol Rundown. I asked our insiders.
We actually talked to insiders.
And Democratic strategist Jimmy Tickey, their take on how this all impacts
Republican and the Democratic take on.
I served in the legislature with Costa
here's what they
Diamantis,
have to
and
say.
it's sad for me that somebody that I worked with would do something like this. As a politician, it's just also sad because we talk about the public trust all the time, and whether it's politicians or people who work for politicians or anybody, in that whole arena, when things like this happen, it just erodes the public trust even more. And legally,
More stories to come right now.
I would have been shocked if he wasn't found guilty.
This culture of corruption, needs to stop. And so it is about doing good for the people you represent, whether you are in elective office or in appointed office, a staff position, or elected by the people. You're there to make a difference, and you're there to deliver for constituents, and good for the jury, and a good day for justice as we now move forward with this conviction.
We also talked about much more, including the government shutdown and more. So you can find more in the Capitol Rundown by clicking on WFSB.com on local news. It's also always streaming on WFSB Plus.
Coming up right now, time now for a Quinnipiac News update. The Orlando is finally reopened after a jewel heist.
Took off with $102 million.
With 102.
After breaking in on Sunday.
They
It's
broke
not
in on
something
Sunday.
people expected to see happen, right?
We'll see what happens. Coming up.
What we see in movies is so difficult, but in reality it was so easy. It's creepy.
I hope they find the people who did it.
And the bail meltdown.
Yeah, we did not know what happened to the police truck. Alright, if you were watching police
at the time
scramble this morning, you may have seen a word or to glitch. I don't know why. Alright, here's WNBA players pronouncing a bust.
revenue, and he says that players
Why?
should expect a big increase in
We'll show you why.
collective bargaining. The WNBA commission says the deal should be wrapped up soon. Well, now we're gearing up
Alright,
for
we're getting ready for another UConn game. We have one on Saturday.
within the next week. The number
Next
one ranked
week,
UConn women are playing
on
Southern
Sunday.
Connecticut on Sunday. We're gonna have a
Alright,
live
let's have it. UConn Listen, as you can see, on October 28th, Tuesday, that's at 7 o'clock pregame. 7:30 is the game on Channel 3, and also on the wax and WSB Plus.
Quite a bit of variation in the rain totals from this morning along the I-84 corridor, for example, less than a half inch of rain. Along the 95 corridor, less than a half inch of rain. But throughout the quiet corner, a half inch to an inch. Jeff from Staffordville reporting about 0.6 of an inch. In the northwestern part of the state, we had some totals over an inch favoring northern Litchfield County, especially parts of the Route 7 corridor. And then we had another little bullseye here in Middlesex County. We had a thunderstorm that developed near Middlefield and Higganum, and that is where we ended up with over an inch of rain too, highly localized. Otherwise, many towns ended up, we'll say, close to a half inch of rain on either side. Roger and Wethersfield reporting 0.4 of an inch of rain from this morning. Over the last 6 hours, we've been watching as the cold front moves away from us, but we still can see this counterclockwise flow. That means the area of low pressure is still sitting over the Great Lakes, and that could lead to some sprinkles over the next couple of days. It's also become a bit breezy behind the front. Here's our iCam view in Rocky Hill. Take a look at all the beautiful color popping up here in the foliage. Also a lot of sunshine being reflected off the Travelers Tower and the Gold Building, and we can still see some of that sun being reflected right now. We do expect these to be fairly bright as we close out the rest of the afternoon and head through the evening. Wind gusts right now 20 to 30 miles per hour. Just a little bit breezy out there. Here's our iCam view right now in the Elm City, 66 degrees, and we see that mix of sun and clouds overhead. As we lose our daytime heating, we are expecting clouds to clear a bit, so mainly clear sky tonight as temperatures fall out of the 50s and into the 40s. Many towns will actually bottom out tonight. We'll say between about 40 and 45 inland, a little bit milder along the shoreline, with a nice recovery tomorrow afternoon. 55 to 60 for most communities. It will be breezy again tomorrow, maybe an isolated sprinkle, but you'll be battling the breeze if you want to clean up your leaves. So per se, fair conditions for tomorrow. A bit better by Friday. The wind will be calm, and also, outside of just an isolated sprinkle, a drier day overall, so it'll help the leaves dry out a bit, make them a little bit easier to move. No concerns when it comes to ragweed pollens over the next several days either. So temperatures will peak, say, near 60 tomorrow. We're in the upper 50s Friday. Starting Friday night through most of next week, at least as far as we can see right now, temperatures will be back in the 30s. So overnight temperatures in the 30s, daytime highs in the mid-50s. Monday forecast to be the coolest day at 53 degrees, 54 by Tuesday. Along the shoreline, we're at 60 tomorrow, 59 Friday, 58 on Saturday, 56 Sunday, 54 Monday. Seasonally cool for this time of year, before a slight rebound Tuesday and Wednesday. The last several days have been a bit above normal for this time of year. 71 Sunday, 66 on Monday, 67 on Tuesday. So looking ahead, just expect things to maybe feel a bit cooler as we get into and especially through the final weekend of October. Hard to believe that we will soon be talking about Halloween. We do have some updates for you in the tropics. We'll share those coming up in just a few.
Thank you so much, Mike. And in women's health headlines, a new type of breast cancer that's hard to detect with routine mammograms is actually becoming more common. The American Cancer Society found that the rate of something called invasive lobular carcinoma has gone up nearly 3% each year over the last decade. Now, it's really hard to detect because the cancer cells don't form a defined mass that would easily show up in a mammogram. Doctors say it could be caused instead by changes in hormone exposure. Breast ultrasounds, or MRIs, are more likely to detect ILC. And some more evidence that walking is good for your health. A Mass General Brigham study finds that older women who took 4,000 steps only once or twice a week actually have a nearly 30% lower risk of heart disease. Doctors say the health benefits are linked to how many steps you take rather than how many days you are active. Interesting. How antidepressants affect your body can vary widely based on which one you might take. A study in The Lancet finds that different drugs impact your heart rate, blood pressure, and weight in different ways. For example, some common antidepressants are linked to weight gain, while others are linked to weight loss. The researchers stress that the findings shouldn't deter you from taking an antidepressant if your psychiatrist recommends one.
When we come back,
The state of the U.S. economy,
warning
what
sign.
data is telling us. And if you are investing in the stock market, there's a few things you might need to know, no matter how much experience you have, why analysts say playing the long game is really important. And we're going to give you a live look at some of our traffic cameras all around the state. Probably much of a drier commute than you had this morning, and that's good news. Meteorologist Mike Slifer is going to have another check of your first alert forecast. That's coming up next.
In Bermuda, we can be close, but we're far away from everything. Get a new perspective. Let's do something. A good cliff jump. Or see what getting a little color looks like from our point of view. We invite you to get a Bermuda perspective on summer.
My name is Rana. I have always passed trial shop, and it's always piqued my interest. And so to work with somebody that paid attention.
You overdid it on the loaded fries. Undo it.
Welcome back.
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
Welcome back, everybody. We also changed to the Quinnipiac forecast at our 4:23 is now the time. Let's look right now at the look at your. Welcome back to 423. I want to say thank you to all the sponsors, the equipment managers. I mean, so much people working with me throughout the next couple of days. You know, very, very unusual today. And obviously, there was a big flight in bus services today. Very exciting. Coming up at 7 o'clock. It's the N1 emergency simplex that unfortunately statement check that has supposed to be postponed yet again this week. Maybe actually next week. We'll be postponed next week because of the Bruins and the NBA games playing today. So only if the playing games comes next week.
Make sure you get the coverage and benefits that are right for
But
you. Blue Cross has dedicated Medicare advisors ready to help you. And more people choose Blue Cross for Medicare than any other plan in Massachusetts. Flex your Medicare muscle with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. Request your free Medicare guidebook today. From sunny to severe and everything in between. We're with you before and during the storm, issuing a first alert weather day and preparing you on your favorite platforms for whatever Mother Nature has in store. Western Mass News First Alert Weather.
that's right.
Interesting.
Time now for a couple of other stories before we sign off on Afternoon Live today.
Western Mass News correspondent Karen Keefe joins us now live from Washington with a look at what job hunters need to know
And I think we got one more story before we sign off. Can we check our director? Well, yeah, we do have one more story before we wrap up today. Yes, so I can do one more story and then one more check with the forecast. So, right now, some bar orders may be falling behind car loans. Well, that's according to a personnel.
Is going to be much stiffer this year than it was a couple of years ago. Because
Although they may have actually been a little bit more difficult than the year before, but that was actually part of difficult car loan personnel. So I mean that comes in, but
Research is surging ahead of the holiday season while employers pull back.
new at 4.
different than what we see in full-time and other.
If you're watching your wallet,
But in other ways, they're also very much the same,
it's
right?
not
So
going to
we're
be
seeing
very
a lot of
implied for
other
the
trends
holiday job.
in the labor market being
Not gonna.
reflected in this year's holiday hiring.
Outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas forecast seasonal retail hiring to fall to its
Also
lowest
talking
point
about
since 2009
new
during the Great
stock
Recession.
market
Nancy
launch,
Vandenhout, leading economist for
especially
Oxford
when the
Economics,
shutdown
says
occurred.
employers may be taking cues
Alright, one more
from
time. I'm gonna check the forecast schedule. You watched one of your news this morning, and I was so excited to be with you guys for Afternoon Live. We'll be taking another quick TV time out so that you guys can we'll be back in about a couple of minutes. minutes with Mike Swipers. Next forecast, we'll be right back right after this. But thank you for watching Afternoon Live for all of Dice and Kodiak News. You have a great day. We'll see you at 6 o'clock for Kodiak News at 6.
Top seasonal postings are
also profiting from their success. One local sports bar is seeing their next half hour.
Melissa very closely. It's still not in a very favorable location for growth, but note that the forward speed is now down to just 2 miles per hour. As it starts to meander north, it will encounter less wind shear, meaning it will begin to strengthen. And at this point in time, it looks like it's going to stay south of Jamaica. So as it stays over the open water, it will strengthen more quickly. As we head into the weekend, we will likely see Hurricane Melissa, and by the time we get into the start of next week, we could be looking at a Category 3 storm, another major hurricane. So we will continue to monitor this. You can actually track Melissa from the free First Alert weather app. While it's great for Connecticut, it's not just Connecticut centric. Looking ahead, maybe some sprinkles tomorrow, and Friday a bit breezy tomorrow too. Saturday, bright and cool. Much more on the weekend forecast ahead on Eyewitness News at 4:30.
Okay.